Stop trying to be resilient. You've been thinking about it all wrong. Our culture sells a dangerous myth about what it means to be strong. It paints a picture of resilience as a kind of unfeeling armor, an unbreakable shield that effortlessly deflects every arrow of misfortune. But this idea is a trap. It suggests that if you feel pain, if you stumble after a setback, if the chaos of life actually affects you, then you are somehow weak or failing. This is a lie. True resilience, the kind that allows human beings to survive unimaginable hardship, is not armor. It is a muscle. It is not the absence of falling. It is the disciplined, systematic art of getting back up, stronger than before. The ancient Stoics, people who navigated plagues, political purges, and profound personal tragedy, were not gods. They were master technicians of the human spirit. They understood that recovery is not an emotional state you hope for. It is an art you practice, a science you apply. Today, we are going to deconstruct this art. We will explore why we crumble in the face of adversity, and then lay out a practical, Stoic-inspired framework for recovery. This is not a lecture. This is a training manual for building the muscle that will allow you to get back up from anything life can throw at you. Phase 1. The anatomy of a collapse. The failure scenario. Before we learn how to recover, we must understand why we collapse. Imagine a common scenario in modern life. A person has built their identity around their career. They are competent, respected, and successful. Their sense of self-worth is deeply intertwined with their professional achievements and the stability it provides. Then, one day, without warning, the entire structure is demolished. A sudden layoff due to restructuring. A key client pulls out, bankrupting their small business. A technological shift makes their entire industry obsolete. The initial shock is followed by a cascade of failures. The first failure is emotional. Panic, anger, and fear take over. The mind, which was once clear and strategic, becomes a chaotic storm of what-ifs and if-onlys. The second failure is a failure of identity. The question, "What do I do?" is quickly replaced by the far more terrifying question, "Who am I?" Without the job title, the office, the daily routine, the person feels lost, formless, and invisible. The third and most critical failure is a failure of action. Paralyzed by fear and a sense of victimhood, the person stops moving forward. They ruminate on the injustice of it all. They blame the economy, their former boss, the unfairness of the world. They retreat, waiting for the motivation to act to magically reappear. But it doesn't. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months. The paralysis sets in, and the once capable individual finds themselves trapped in a prison of their own making, a prison of bitterness, resentment, and inaction. This is the anatomy of a collapse. It is not the external event that breaks us. It is the internal chain reaction that follows. Phase 2. The analysis. The two handles. Why does one person collapse under this pressure while another begins to rebuild? The Stoic philosopher Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and endured decades of brutal hardship, offered a powerful diagnostic tool. He said, "Every event has two handles, one by which it can be carried and one by which it cannot." The event itself, the job loss, is neutral. It is the handle we choose to grab that determines everything. The unbearable handle. This is the handle of everything we cannot control. It is composed of thoughts like, "This is unfair. Why did this happen to me? They shouldn't have done this. The economy is terrible." When you grab this handle, the problem is impossibly heavy. It is unliftable because it is composed entirely of things outside your power. Holding on to this handle leads directly to feelings of bitterness, resentment, and powerlessness, the very emotions that fuel paralysis. The actionable handle. This is the handle of what you can control. It is composed of questions like, what can I learn from this? What is the next small step I can take today? How can I use this unexpected free time to my advantage? Who can I reach out to for advice? When you grab this handle, the problem, while still difficult, becomes manageable. It becomes a weight you can lift, because it is composed entirely of your own choices, your own actions, your own thoughts. The collapse happens when, in the shock of the moment, we instinctively grab the first, most obvious handle, the unbearable one of injustice and blame. We exhaust all our energy trying to lift an unliftable weight, and we crumble under the strain. The art of recovery is the disciplined practice of letting go of the wrong handle and deliberately choosing the right one. Phase 3. The Stoic strategy. Resilience as active recovery. Resilience is not a passive quality, it is an active process. It is a system for engaging with reality. This strategy consists of 3 phases that move you from paralysis to powerful action. 1. The art of acquiescence. Strategic acceptance. This is the first and perhaps most difficult step. It is often misunderstood as pessimism or resignation. It is neither. It is a clear-eyed, unsentimental acceptance of reality. You must accept the unchangeable facts of the situation. The job is gone. The past cannot be rewritten. You cannot control the decisions other people made. Arguing with reality is, as the saying goes, like trying to teach a pig to sing. It wastes your time and annoys the pig. By consciously accepting what is outside your control, you are not giving up. You are performing a crucial strategic maneuver. You are ceasing to waste your precious, finite energy on a battle you cannot win. This frees up 100% of your resources to focus on the battles you can win. 2. The search for the good, finding the actionable handle. With your energy now focused, your next task is to actively search for the actionable handle. This requires a deliberate shift in questioning. You must stop asking, "Why did this happen?" and start asking, "What can I do now?" This is a hunt for opportunity within the obstacle. A layoff isn't just a loss of income. It's an opportunity to reevaluate your entire career path. A sudden disruption isn't just a crisis. It's a chance to learn new, more relevant skills. The unfairness of it all isn't just a source of pain. It's fuel for the fire to build something of your own, so you are never in that vulnerable position again. You must train your mind to see the get-to within the have-to. I don't just have to find a new job, I get to design a new chapter of my life. 3. The hard winter training, building momentum. The Stoics believed we must prepare for life's difficulties before they arrive, through what they called hard winter training. When you are in the midst of a crisis, you are already in the hard winter. This is the time for small, consistent, disciplined actions. You don't need a grand plan. You need to win the day. This is about building momentum, one small action at a time. The goal is not to get a new job tomorrow. The goal is to do one productive thing today. Send one email, watch one tutorial, go for one walk. Each small action is a victory that builds confidence and breaks the spell of paralysis. A practical exercise, the two-handle ledger. This is an immediate, actionable exercise to train your mind to use this framework. It is designed to be done in moments of frustration or when you feel overwhelmed. The drill. Take out a piece of paper or open a new note on your phone. At the top, write down the problem or event that is causing you distress. E.g., I was passed over for a promotion. The instructions. Now, create 2 columns. Column 1, the unbearable handle, what I cannot control. In this column, list every aspect of the situation that is outside your direct control. Be brutally honest. Examples. My boss's final decision. My colleague's opinion of me. The fact that I have worked here for 10 years. The unfairness of the process. Column 2, the actionable handle, what I can control. In this column, list every possible action, thought, or choice that is 100% within your power right now, no matter how small. Examples. I can ask for specific feedback on what to improve. I can update my resume. I can spend 1 hour researching other companies. I can choose to handle this with professionalism and dignity. I can go for a run to clear my head. The purpose. This simple act of sorting the elements of a problem into these 2 columns does something profound. It makes the invisible visible. It shows you, in black and white, where your energy is being wasted and where it can be effectively applied. Your only job, after completing the ledger, is to consciously cross out the entire first column and focus all your attention on the second. This is a training exercise in redirecting your power. The pros and cons. A realistic look at this Stoic approach. The benefits. The most significant benefit is a radical shift from a feeling of powerlessness to a feeling of agency. You realize that even in the worst circumstances, you retain the power to choose your response. This fosters immense mental resilience. It reduces the duration and intensity of negative emotions like anger and resentment, because you are no longer feeding them by focusing on what you can't control. It makes you a more effective problem solver, as you are directing all your energy toward productive actions. The dangers, pitfalls. The risk of toxic positivity. A misunderstanding of this philosophy can lead to a form of toxic positivity, where you refuse to acknowledge the real pain or injustice of a situation. The art of acquiescence is not about pretending that a terrible event is actually good. It is about accepting that a terrible event has happened and then focusing on your response. You must allow yourself to feel the genuine pain and grief without letting those feelings dictate your actions. The risk of apathy or passivity. Some may interpret accepting what you can't control as a call to do nothing. This is the opposite of the Stoic intent. The acceptance phase is purely a strategic step to free up energy for more intense, focused action on the things you can control. It is a clearing of the deck, not an abandonment of the ship. The risk of alienating others. While you are training yourself to grab the actionable handle, the people around you may still be holding the handle of blame and resentment. If you are not careful, your calm, proactive approach can be misinterpreted as you not caring enough or not being on their side. It is important to still offer empathy and listen to others' feelings, even as you personally choose to focus your energy elsewhere. The lesson learned. The most profound lesson from the Stoics is that resilience is not a personality trait. It is not something you either have or don't have. Resilience is a strategy. It is a disciplined, repeatable process of perception and action. It is the art of knowing which handle to grab. When you focus on what is outside your control, you are choosing to be weak. When you focus on your own choices, your own actions, and your own thoughts, you are choosing to be strong. The power is always yours to make that choice. Your training begins with a single, real-world application. Your challenge is this. The very next time you feel frustrated, overwhelmed, or wronged, perform the two-handle ledger exercise. To commit to this first step of active recovery, go to the comments below and make a simple public declaration. Write, "I will find the right handle." This is a commitment to yourself, a promise to stop wasting energy on the unliftable and to start applying your strength where it truly matters. If this guide has provided you with a clear strategy, a like helps it reach others who may be feeling stuck. And to continue learning how to build a resilient mind, consider subscribing. The storm may be real, but so is your power to navigate it. Thank you for being here. It's time to get back up.